All right, I'm live. Excuse me. I'm Coach Mike Caton, founder of Ace Method Coaching. If you've never been here, what I do on this show, I'll call it a show, is I take the time to answer questions that have been given to me and videos that have been sent to me from hurdlers and coaches. I provide service where I have some products and services that I sell to hurdlers and coaches, but I get a lot of free requests, so I don't have a hard time saying no. So this is the best way that I can do it. Lump it all into a show now and then. I'm just going to say from the very beginning, I might cough a lot today. I've got something going on. This is actually the best that I've been able to speak all day, so I'm taking advantage of it. I don't know if it'll be better tomorrow, so I didn't want to wait. And I've got a lot of videos requests coming in, so I didn't want them to pile up too much. But really quickly, a little bit about me. I've been coaching for many, many years. The last 25 or so have been mostly specific around track and field. And as the years have gone on, more specifically towards hurdling. But I know all running events. So just know that. Let's see here. What I'm going to do here is I've got 4 athletes I'm going to look at today. I'm going to do in this order: Kendice, Laura, Mateusz, and Tyrone. Okay, I'm going to start with the least experienced and end with the most experienced. I might like to progress that way. So just know that, okay? If you're watching this and you have a question during the live portion or while I'm live, feel free to leave a question, on YouTube, and I will get to it when I'm done looking at the videos. I'll do my best. If you decide you want to be part of this and you want to send me a video, that's not something you'll be able to do today. I have to get those organized and get them prepared in order to have them, organized. So you can go to my website at acemethodcoaching.com. And there's links in the notes of this video if you want to check that out. And go to the hurdle page or the running page. It doesn't matter. Either section you can do a free video review, and that's how it ends up on this show. If you have a question, you can email me at acemethodcoaching@gmail.com, but don't send me videos on my email because it's too easy. I get a lot of emails, and it's too easy to lose them, forget about them, and they get lost in the shuffle. But if you go through the proper way, through my website, it's all very organized, and it gives me all the information and everything that I need to do this right. So remember that. I get a lot of people email me, Tim, and I just email them right back and say, here's how you do it. So save me and you the hassle. Okay, I'm going to jump into Kendice and then Laura's video. Let me get set here. Give me a second. Okay, here's what I know about Kendice. Kendice is a beginner, has no racing experience, no training experience, has mostly been watching my videos, which I'm glad that I can help. Just want some general advice. The only thing that I find not unique, but unusual about this is that Kendice is 17 years old and already finished high school. So it's not typical for somebody out of high school to start hurdling. I don't know why. I'm curious. I should have asked you that question. But it makes me wonder if maybe you're going to go to college and do a decathlon and you need to know how to hurdle or something like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, maybe you're going to do open events. It's not something that happens very commonly in the U.S., but it could happen in other countries. So let me watch and see what goes on here. Let me back this up. Okay. So I definitely have some thoughts. Let me say, I always like to start off with something nice. Let me see if I can get you more in the center. Okay, so you look smooth. You don't look like you're very afraid of the hurdle. That's really good. But I definitely have some thoughts. Let me pull you over right here. First is, you're not going full speed. It's obvious to me that this is not full speed, which is fine if you're doing drills, but it's hard for me to evaluate somebody who's doing a drill. Just keep that in mind. The other thing is, let's see here. Like this is not at all somebody, I can just tell by the look at your step how much you are just not going fast and putting on the brakes here. Although I don't dislike this step, this looks nice, but there's just no speed into it. Some other things. I don't like that your lead arm is preparing to go over the top like that. It just needs to shoot out from your shoulder. Don't swing it around the top. Oh no, here's a biggie. So let's look at your lead leg, your right leg. See where your heel is? At this point right here, your heel should be up by your butt, right? And it should still be at your butt. And then about right here, you should start to unfurl it, okay? The fact that you're lifting just a 90-degree bent leg is going to give you a lot of lift. So you're taking your horizontal velocity or momentum, and you're now adding some vertical lift into it, which is going to decrease your speed, but also keep you from going forward and flat and fast over that hurdle, but get you high over that hurdle. And indeed, that's what happens, okay? The other thing is, just by the look of your left leg, what I need to see is you really planting hard on it and just pushing off really hard to where at this point this would be pretty straight, but it's not, okay? So keep that in mind. You got to push harder off this leg. Yeah, you're at this point, your knee should be farther back, okay? It's not farther back because you didn't push off hard enough. But this isn't a bad movement of the trail leg. The problem is, though, with this height of a hurdle, you should be touching down about right now. But it's a blurry video, but I still think you got at least 6 inches. That's because you were too high over the hurdle. Okay? So, yeah, then here you're taking these tiny little 5 steps. So what you need to do, and this is outlined in my Hurdling 101, but you need to bring the hurdles closer together at a spacing that you are comfortable with 3-stepping. And then just practice going over it and over and over it, getting faster and faster, more efficient, more confident. And as you do that, you can gradually, incrementally space out the hurdles to where eventually they're getting more to where you want them to be. That's the way I would do it. And do the same thing with the height. Okay? So I hope that helps. Let me jump into Laura. By the way, if you're thinking, hey, that was pretty quick advice, that's because, hold up. I need to get this full screen. Well, not working. Let me just do this. That's because I don't have time on these free ones that I put together. I do, just so you'll know, Of the things that I offer as a service, one of them is a virtual coaching session. Sometimes we do them live via Zoom. Sometimes we do them via email. Either way, but those I spend a lot of time. I probably spend at least a half an hour on a video, really giving a lot of advice, but answering questions, sending videos. Everybody really likes it and thinks it's very valuable. So if you like what you see here, but you're going, I want more, then go to my website, sign up for a virtual coaching session. Okay, here's what I know about Laura. Excuse me. She's been hurdling for multiple years now, but she is deciding to finally take it very seriously. She wants to do well this year. She wants some general advice, but definitely she's got concerns about her plant step. And her plant step is the step, right, that you plant your leg right before you go over that hurdle. She is in lane 7. Let's check her out. Okay, so let me back her up. You probably can't see her yet, but this is Laura right here. So she attacked the first 3 hurdles pretty hard. Here she is right here. I'm going to talk to you, Laura, not everyone else about you. And then here she's having to go 2, 3, 4 steps to get over the next hurdle. Okay, so let me get you in a position where people can see you. Okay, it's kind of blurry. Okay. So I can tell you, Laura, the main thing is, you looked really good and aggressive and had pretty good rhythm going into that 3rd hurdle. But what's happening is you're losing a lot of speed. One of the reasons is that you're jumping so high over the hurdle. Okay? So let's look at this right here. You're also close to that hurdle, which surprises me that you had to transition into 4-stepping when you're that close to the hurdle. That's not normal. You're so close that you're not even able to bring your lead leg straight over, so you're swinging it around from the left, so it's swinging clockwise. You can see your lower leg is almost sideways here. And then also your right arm and your body is leaning to the left. So what's happening is your lower body is swinging clockwise and your upper body is swinging counterclockwise. I don't know which one is causing the problem. Sometimes a leg is happening because of the arm, and sometimes the arm is happening because of the leg, or it's just something you've learned to do over time. But you got to fix that. It's messing you up. It's messing with your balance, and it's affecting your landing and your speed over the hurdle, everything. So you need to, as you go over the hurdle, keep your hips pointed straight forward, keep your shoulders pointed straight forward, and as you take off into the hurdle, you want to drive your left knee straight at that hurdle. In fact, if you see on the hurdles these 2 black boxes that all hurdles have, they're kind of handy in that in your case you kind of want to drive your knee right to the top of this one, your left knee, and then your right arm right here. It's not exactly, but it's a visual way of keeping you from twisting, but to keep you open, okay? That's one thing. And then also learn to go at the hurdle versus over the hurdle. If you've been hurdling for a lot of years, I'm guessing you've done a lot of drills, and you're going to have to just trust that your lead leg is going to make it and your trail leg is going to make it. It looks like you have good flexibility in your hips because your leg is getting out your thigh really flat here. So you should be able to go lower, okay? Let's see here. So here we are landing. Okay, see how you're twisted up? Shoulders facing the camera, hips turned the other way. So that's you still twisted from what you were doing. It's going to twist in two directions. Okay. All right. So, and then because you were so high coming off that hurdle, you see how you're just kind of sunken into the ground here? You still have a very bent knee. That's because gravity's pulling you down. You want to come off that hurdle tall. Okay. And then you did a really big stretch out here to land on your heels. Well, not really. But you're definitely reaching with your steps. And it's counterintuitive, but you'd be surprised if you try to get to the next hurdle purely by running all out fast versus trying to stretch out. You'll actually still do it in 3 steps, but there'll be a faster 3 steps. So you have more speed going over the hurdle, which helps you get to the next hurdle, okay? Every time you take long, slow strides, you're slowing down, and then you'll have a bad jump and lose even more speed, and it gets worse and worse as the race goes on. So just do it by sprinting. Get up on your balls of your feet, get them underneath you, and just go fast and stay lower. That's going to help you a lot. Let me see, look at this. Let me see what I can see here. So definitely reaching out too far with that plant leg. That's what you were asking about. That's putting on the brakes really bad, okay? You're also leaning backwards. See that? You are preparing yourself to slow down and jump up, okay? And you want to just have your plant leg drop underneath you, not in front of you, and go flat over this hurdle versus jumping over that hurdle. Also keep your arms tighter, more bent at 90 degrees. Okay. I like this, surprisingly. It would be great if you were lower, but this is a pretty good landing in that you're coming off the hurdle and your step, look at that. Your knee is actually in front of your heel. So this is actually what we call negative shin angle. And the fact that you're doing that landing off of the hurdle, this is the #1 best thing you've got going on in your technique, okay? So let's take advantage of that. And we like to get some better strides in between the hurdle and go lower, okay? So I hope that helped. So I'm going to, because I want to send them to someone. Let me see here. I'm going to send you my Hurdling 201 because I want you to do that. Okay, it's going to help you a lot. Hurdling 201 starts giving you more advice on technique and also what type of training you should do. It doesn't give you workouts, don't get me wrong, but a lot of advice generally to how to get to the point where you can be one of the better hurdlers, probably in high school, usually racing in the fast heats, okay? That seems to be the next level for you, so I'm going to go ahead and send that. Okay, I am going to now jump over to see Mateusz and Tyrone, but before I do that, I want to show people how they can be a part of this if they're wondering how they can do it. And I want to remind you that if you're watching this and you have a question for me, then you can leave that in YouTube. Sorry, I'm looking at something and talking at the same time, and it's not working very well. I just realized if I go to that view, my microphone is going to turn off. So I am going to Okay, I'll tell you what, if you guys can be patient no, I'm not going to risk it. Okay, let me see if I can manage this from this view. May or may not work. So I'm going to Ace Method Coaching hurdling page. It's possible that with the view you have that this being cut off, but I've got a few free things. Let me see if I can make it smaller. I think this will work. Okay, so I've got a free hurdle technique cheat sheet that you can download, and here's where you go if you want to send me a video. Okay, it's free video review technique analysis. You click on it, it'll just have some questions and answers for you. You're going to put your name, email address, let me know who you are, what level you are, any specific question, and then you click on here to upload a file or two, and then you send me your video. Okay, and it'll come to me, and I'll organize them and get back to you whenever I can. I do my best. Just in case you're interested, I mentioned a little while ago that I was going to send Laura my Hurdling 201. That's right here, but I also have Hurdling 101, which is how to teach somebody to be an absolute beginner and have them learn how to hurdle. And this takes it from there and gets them to be a really competitive high school racer. And this is for those who are already competitive and now they want to become one of the really good ones and maybe go to college. Okay, that would be good. And then also I sell a bundle at a reduced price. I do also have hurdle training plans, which are very detailed, in depth, all the workouts that you need from the beginning of the season until the end. That's what this is. And this is where I mentioned earlier, virtual coaching. That's where I work with people either via Zoom or emails, and it's a lot more involved than what I just showed you today. And one more thing, as long as I am showing my stuff. Oh, I didn't want to do that. While I'm pulling something up, I got some new videos that I'm working on right now. Let me go to my channel here. That I'm pretty excited about. I just put one out the other day that I'm pretty excited about called Long Sprint Technique. I highly recommend you check it out if you run both short hurdles and long hurdles. It shows you how to run differently, how your stride should be if you're doing, say, the 300 hurdles or the 400 hurdles, as opposed to the 100 or 110 meter hurdles. This is a video I did about a week or so ago about how to hurdle if you're short. These two are both talking about how to take 7 steps to the first hurdle and is that a good idea? And another one about how long should you warm up for the hurdles. But some that I'm coming out with soon that I'm working on right now. One is if you are somebody who is coming to the step where you need to go with higher hurdles, like maybe you're going from high school to college, or you're a younger age grouper and you're moving up to a higher age group and they have higher hurdles that are farther apart. I'm going to show you how to transition for that. And also another video is how can you run track in college? Like, what would be some things that would help you? What I did is I interviewed some college athletes who recently went from high school to college, and they're giving you their advice. And it's going to be really good. I'm pretty excited about it. And that's it. So let me now go back to the reviews. And I'm going to see Mateusz. He sent me 2, but they're almost identical. So I'm just going to look at one of them. And if you watched my show a few days ago, you would recognize this and think this is the exact one. So that was with Anthony, and this must be his teammate, Mateusz, because as soon as I sent Anthony his review. Within minutes, Mateusz was sending me his, and I see that they're either from the same school or track program or something. I don't know what country it is, but they're in the middle of their season right now. It's definitely not US. Okay. You know what? I'm not convinced I'm on the right page. Give me 1 second here. There's a few things I got to do. Otherwise, I'm going to record this whole show and someone's going to say, yeah, I was in the right place. Okay, darn it. Someone's going to say, I didn't see anything you did. Or I couldn't hear anything you said. So here is Mateusz. Let me cue it up. Come on. Okay, so definitely some things, good things going on, but definitely I can see some slowing, some braking action as you approach and come off the hurdle. So let's see if I can figure out what it is. I mean, you got your rhythm down for sure. So good job on that. That's not easy. But you are going a little slower every hurdle. And you can see it in your stride. Each hurdle you have to stretch out farther and farther to get to the next hurdle. So let's figure out what's going on. Okay. I'm going to see you come down off of this hurdle. Well, one, look how high you are. I mean, that's pretty crazy, okay? Your butt is probably a foot. I don't know where you're from. It's definitely, you don't use feet, but this high, okay? So you should be touching down on the ground right now, but because you were so high on the hurdle, you're not. So you have to wait to come down. This is actually a good landing for somebody that was too high over the hurdle. So good job on that. You have a good landing. If you could just be lower over that hurdle, you would come into your landing better, okay? I'm going to bring you to this hurdle. It's funny how close these people are to you. Okay, so you are definitely, okay, you're too close to the hurdle, okay, and you're jumping too high. You need to be a little farther back and come flatter over that hurdle, because not only are you too high, but you're reaching the top of your leap right here, and that's straight on top of the hurdle, possibly even a little bit forward in front of the hurdle, when you should have reached the top back here and then start coming down on the hurdle. So, and then you have both arms forward at the same time. You should only have your left arm forward at this point and then your right arm back. Okay? So that's throwing off your balance. Let me... Okay, again, I like this. I like this position a lot. This looks like the guys in the Olympics. The way you're on your toe, legs straight up, hips up tall, bent elbow, knee bent really nicely, high up by your chest. This is perfect, perfect. Okay, let me see if I can pull you. I have a feeling that the people watching this cannot see you. Okay, maybe that'll work. Okay, too stretched out. This should never have your leg out in front of you like this. Let me see if I can pull you for people that are watching. Okay. you should never do that. Your foot, your knee should be bent and your toe should be here and your foot bent underneath you. Don't stretch out. You need to just run full speed. Okay, let me see what happens here. So again, because you're losing so much speed by going too high over the hurdle, you're having to now stretch out with long, slow strides, which are all slowing you down because you're putting on the brakes with every step. Every time your leg hits the ground, your foot hits the ground, and your lower leg is angled backwards like this, that's a braking action. So you're working really hard to run fast, but you keep brake, and you're losing all your speed. Okay? So okay, I like the commitment, the push off of this leg. I like the movement of the lead leg, but your knee only needs to stay this high. It doesn't need to go higher. It's too high. So drive it forward, don't drive it up, okay? And get that trail arm behind you over here. And again, you're too high. And amazingly, you managed to get a good landing even though you're too high. Okay, I know you have a big race coming up this weekend, so hopefully these suggestions will help you, okay? All right, I'm now going to go to the last one, which is Tyrone. Okay, Tyrone, senior in high school, third year. He's really good. Let me show you who he is in a second. He wins this race. Okay, so here's Tyrone right here, okay? So that is lane 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let me watch this again. Oh, Tyrone, that umbrella is right where I wanted to see you. I mean, that would have been the perfect, right here. That's so annoying. Okay, so, but don't worry, I can see some things. Okay. Well, as you heard me say, you're very good. I'm very impressed. I'm thinking this is Georgia. It says Marietta. I don't know. I'm just guessing. So here's what I like the most. It's actually a lot of things. Oh man, I really do. I think you're really good. Okay, where do I start? Okay, let me go. Here. I'm going to watch you come off this hurdle here. Okay, you bring your lead leg down so close to that hurdle. That is fantastic. Man, I wish that umbrella weren't there. If you have a better video, send it to me, okay? I want to look at it. So it is just coming, you're clearing that hurdle and bringing it down. So really, really exceptionally. So that's great. You're getting your hips forward, so you're coming, not only you're bringing it down, so it gets you off the hurdle really fast, and you are just up and running immediately. It's like you're running before you even hit the ground. That's what's helping you the most, okay? This touchdown right here is also really nice. I mean, really nice. You have a negative shin angle on this step, and both your knees are together. Another nice step. Man, this is really good too. So here's your plant step, and you touch right there. So your heel hasn't even come down yet. You're still on the ball of your foot, and your shin looks like it's about straight up and down, which is the goal. And definitely by the time your heel touches, you already have your knee forward and you got some negative shin angle going on. So that is terrific. This is like my hurdle 301 technique stuff. Okay, so looking at your lead leg now, looks really nice. Your heel is tucked up. You're bringing it straight through. You look good there. I do think, though, it's possible if you were to see the angle of your thigh, if you could lift that just a few inches, so to get your thigh more parallel with the bar of the hurdle, you'd be able to come lower on that hurdle even. And you know what that means. You'd be even faster. Okay? But you look good. The action of your trail leg is very nice, with that one possible exception. Seems like you're keeping your hips nice and forward. Your shoulder seemed like it turned, maybe not. Like I like the way you move your lead arm really nicely. It does, though, stay open more than I would suggest. I would recommend keeping your left arm, your lead arm, as you pull it back at about 90 degrees at the elbow. And think about pulling the elbow back versus the hand or the arm back. It'll come back faster. And if you look, you look at all the guys in the finals of the Olympics and the World Championships, they're doing that. They're not bringing that arm down straight. Man, really, really good. That, oh man. Trying to figure out there's something just really great about your hurdling. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I didn't like that first hurdle though. That was good. Yeah, I like the way you hold that trail arm back. Very nice. It's like perfection. There's that stupid. Yeah, you know what? You're bringing your lead arm back better. Maybe it was just that one hurdle. It was low. I think you got it. So disregard what I said there. You're doing great. You're super elite. Wait, your question though. Let me see your question. Your question was, you have a PR of 1420, but you want to know how to get into the 13s. Okay. To be honest with you, you look to me like you are running in the 13s. But you know what? There's a clock right there. Man, you are so close. You're right, 14.2. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you my hurdling 301. Okay, and that is basically all the little tricks that I've picked up over the years from training people who are your speed, slightly faster, interviewing people who are really good, like Eric Edwards, Alex Chukwukelu, finding out what they're doing, talking to other coaches, and put it together into one video. And I'm going to help you out with that. It's possible because honestly, your technique is so good that it might not be your technique. It might be your speed. So, but I don't know. You're running this good. So I don't know how good your speed and power program is, speed and strength. But that's something to consider. But I think if you just keep putting it together. Also, definitely watch the video that I have on my YouTube channel when I interviewed Alex Chukwukelu. And that guy is so meticulous about detail. And Eric, if you watch that video I did about short hurdlers, man, those guys just dial it in, dial it in. So you're on the way. Just keep working on it. There's not one thing that's really obvious that I'm saying, oh, you got to fix this. No, you're like 99% there. We just need to let it all come together. And it could be just the overall speed that you got to work on and not only the technique. So I hope that helps. Let me know what you think of 301 when you get it. Okay, so I'm done with my reviews for the day. I am going to bounce out to YouTube. I'm going to see if anybody sent me a question, and no one has sent me a question today. What the heck is going on? Okay. But anyway, so that's good. I think we got some good stuff today. Again, if you want to be part of this, you want me to answer your questions, you can email me at acemethodcoaching@gmail.com. If you have a video you want me to watch, go to my website at acemethodcoaching.com, and you will see very clearly how to send me a video. And I look forward to getting it. So that's it. You have a good evening. Coach Ace out.